What should a writer look for or consider when they're seeking a script consultant like yourself?
They should, first of all, make sure they're doing it for the right reasons. I think a lot of people misunderstand and think that we're gatekeepers, that we can get them an agent. I have a lot of famous clients, but I got to tell you something. Almost all of my famous clients were famous before they came to me. Right? What I can do, I can't get you an agent. I can make your script the best version it can be. That's what I do. I want to get it to a whole other level for you. I also want for you to realize your vision. I heard someone say once that script consultation was about compromise. I could not disagree more. It's not about compromise. I'm not compromising with the writer. It's not. I'm not a factor in it. I am trying to help you achieve your vision, right? And if you're coming to me, obviously something's not working and something is, just not effective. And so that's one of the reasons I don't do written consultations that I mark up the script, but I actually do it orally because I want to talk to the writer. I want to find out what it is that they were going for that maybe got lost in translation and help them achieve their vision. But if you're going to a consultant and you think that, especially paying for one script consultation, that's going to be enough to make you famous, I think you're going to a script consultant for the wrong reason. That's not what we should be. That's not what we're about. So good consultants are expensive, but just because someone's expensive doesn't mean that they are good. But people should be aware it's expensive. And very often I'm frustrated when someone's completely new and maybe they've never even taken a class, maybe they've never even read scripts and they've written a screenplay. And I'm happy to help. I'll do what I can. I'm going to have a ton to teach them. They're going to learn a lot. But I wish they had done something like take a class. I have classes. I charge half as much for a 10-week class as I do for one script consultation. So there's a lot to learn. And I think it's helpful if people go in with some humility about it. And if you don't know much about it, I would before you invest in an expensive script consultant, see about taking a class where you can really learn a lot, where you can also have peers that you can work with and meet and maybe be able to do a writing group with before you invest in an expensive script consultant. But I'm in demand and I charge accordingly like anyone would. And there are different criteria to look at. I've been a script consultant and a screenwriting teacher for over 18 years, and as a professional. And then 15 years before that, I was a not professional who analyzed movies. And by analyzing movies, I don't mean I just watched a bunch of movies. I meant I was watching movies with a notebook, taking notes, for 15 years. So I've had a lot of experience with that. I've had a book that's, has a method nobody else is doing, that's doing well. I have things like that to offer. I don't have, by the way, fancy IMDb credits. Some people say you need to have a consultant who has, sold things. Well, I've sold scripts, but I don't know if everyone understands that not every script that's sold ends up on the IMDb, right? So if you want, if that's important to you to find someone who has sold some scripts, you can go for that, but keep in mind that doesn't necessarily mean you're the best teacher. Just because you've sold some things, you may not know, that's not necessarily a repeatable skill you can teach. I ask people sometimes, who would you rather have as an acting teacher, Robert De Niro or Stella Adler, if she was still alive? And a lot of people are like, well, who's Stella Adler? First of all, right? Well, she was only, I think, in one movie and one small bit, but she was the acting teacher of Robert De Niro and so many other great actors, right? And so, just because someone is successful, that doesn't mean they necessarily know how to teach you things or to explain, or that they are the gateway to success. But that's a factor some people want to consider, and so that's something to look for. If that's, there are all sorts of things to consider when you're looking for a script consultant.
And what's happened with you and the Nutshell Technique book since, what is it, 5 years since we last met?
Yeah, thank you. So much has happened. Yeah, since my, Nutshell Technique, the video, I call it the Fat Tootsie video. It's the one, I think you've labeled it, this is how 99% of writers tell a story, and 270,000 people have seen it. It was exciting for me, closest to anything viral I've done. I think Fat Tootsie has become my brand, which I'm fine with. It's a great way to sum up what my method is, and I encourage folks to watch that video if they haven't seen that video before. But lots of exciting things have happened. My book has come out, I have them here. My book has come out in Korean.
How cool.
Italian. They did a pink cover for some reason, and they retitled it Breaking the Shell. I don't know why. And then Mandarin Chinese version. And so, and so that's been very exciting. There's an audiobook version as well. And the book has been blurbed by some of my heroes, like Han Jin-woo, who was the Oscar-winning screenwriter of Parasite, and John Beckerman, who was the creator of Ed and was the head writer for David Letterman for a number of years, and Callum Green, who's a producer of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And and so I'm pleased to see that my book has been, is a industry standard in certain circles. As Han Jin-woo said in his blurb on that, it's become something of a new Hollywood standard and is used at a lot of universities. And then meanwhile, my program has changed a little bit. I've now started during the pandemic, my classes, I have classes on Zoom now. And so I have students all over the world, which I love. And so I get a lot out of teaching, actually, and that's actually what's kept me, I think, really good as a script consultant and story consultant, and my ability to fix story. It's because I work with so many student stories, and my students are so dedicated. I love them. I have students all over Europe now, and so my class meets at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That is 2 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. For my students in Italy and Germany who take it. And I'm amazed at their dedication. I've recently added a daytime class because so the hours are a little bit better for European students as well as students in the U.S. who want to take a daytime class. And my script consultancy is going really well. I have a client whose movies have made $1.5 billion at the box office. Wow. I have a client who was nominated for an Oscar last year, and she won the BAFTA for screenwriting. And I should say my classes, actually, I have Emmy winners taking my classes. I have literary agents taking my class. Producers have been taking my classes. So all different levels of people and in the industry are taking them. So all those things have been going really well. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. And your website is beautiful.
Oh, thank
you. You can go on there and see some of the quotes too and some of what you offer. What is it about your teachings that helps screenwriters finish their screenplays?
Well, first of all, my method, again, is make sure that people know their endings, right? That they know the story. They know the big picture. They're not just diving in and writing and hoping that somehow a great ending is going to materialize. They've, first of all, figured it out using my nutshell technique at a bird's eye level so that they know that it works. They've got feedback from a class, and so it gives them all the confidence. Once, it's great. I love seeing it when people in the beginning are bringing in their story nutshells and they're struggling a little bit, and then as they start to finally figure it out, I'm thrilled, but I'm also thrilled to hear their classmates say, "Oh my God, now I totally see your story," right? And so now people have the confidence, because other people, we can all understand their story when it's just one piece of paper. They can understand the story. And so they go and write it. They're probably not going to get stuck. And if they do get stuck, they have a class of people they can bring that up. We can talk about it, figure out what is it what did we not set up correctly? Because if you're getting stuck, that's what it means. I also have a policy that we don't look at incomplete scripts. So you have to finish the script if you want feedback in my classes. And so that is something, and matter of fact, I have a lot of alumni who repeat the class because I know that they see it as a way to have accountability, and they feel like they've wasted their money if they don't get a finished script by week 9 because we're not going to read it. And those writers, I have writers who've written literally 10 scripts because they've taken my class 10 times. And so that's how I'm going to help you, but if you get to the end of it, then you're going to get feedback from me and 9 other people as well.
And you've also ventured into co-writing a screenplay currently?
Yeah, I'm kind of going back into writing. I hadn't done writing really for years, and I am working on a few projects. It's, I'm as frustrated with my own stuff as I am that other people are with their stories. So it's a whole different skill set for me. Script consulting, fixing stories is so natural to me. Like it's really pretty easy. It's very clear to me. But with my own stuff, I'm like everybody else. I'm just as lost. I don't have somebody to help me fix my story. But it's been fun to put myself back into the writer's shoes, which I hadn't done for so long. And it's been a good experience too. It's been good. My student writers have expressed they appreciated my vulnerability in talking about going through some of the experiences I've had in dealing with writing again. Like it helps their confidence to hear, it was really frustrating when I put my script up for notes and I wasn't happy with the notes that came back. They were relieved to hear, that isn't something that goes away, that experienced people experience that too. And that I'm kind of in the same ballpark as they are, more or less, that, it's, there's no guarantee anything's going to happen, but it's been a really nice experience to get back into it. So I am dabbling a little bit. It's still my day job will always, I think, be script consulting and teaching. Like I said, that's something I have a pretty unique skill for. I love the idea that people would love my scripts. I don't know how unique I am. As far as I'm just not someone who generates tons of ideas, which I really think is something you probably want as a screenwriter, that you're constantly developing new things. I'm a little more just like everybody. I'm a little too precious, I think, with the things I work on. But it's been a really good experience for me.